Hello everyone and welcome back to Bannerlord. In my first ever campaign. Last time I started completely from scratch. No money, no name, and no experience. And no real idea of what I am doing. Now, with the tutorials out of the way, the game makes one thing very clear. I'm still nobody important. My clan is still tier 1, which means only one thing. Mercenary. No nobility, no lordship. So the goal of this episode was simple. Reach clan tier 2. Only then, I could stop being just another mercenary in the world and actually begin my rise. The problem? I had no idea how to get there. In the arena, I found my first step. Talking to this guy, I learned about the practice fights and the tournaments. Luckily, there was one happening right now, so I decided to give it a try. The reward was a decent sword, something I really needed, and that was my first tournament experience. Wait, yeah, it takes some time to reload. It took me a while to understand how the crossbow worked. Yeah, I don't know, the crossbow feels weird, man. And the enemy aim is pretty good. Damn. It was close. In retrospect, I should have made better use of my one-handed skill. Maybe grab the shield, play more aggressively. And even so, it was better than I expected. Now, I wanted more. Found out I could ask where the other tournaments were taking place, and since I was still alone, I recruited my first soldiers and hit the road. Along the way, my sister asked for guidance. I focused her exactly on what my character lacked, just seemed good enough. Second tournament, another sword as reward. I really wanted better gear, but this time the result was closer to what expected. Oh no. Nah, that's it. Still, I kept going. As I left the city, I received an offer. Since I wasn't a noble yet, the job was mercenary. I needed the money and the renown, so I accepted. I met a baroness and confirmed my suspicion. Without the clan tier 2, vassalage was not an option. But at least she explained more about the artifact I had obtained earlier, and pointed me towards someone else who could help. Speaking of help, I offered my services and received a mission. Find a spy infiltrated during the tournament. I had no idea how to do that, so I did what I knew best. I kept entering tournaments. This time, the prize was a horse. Unfortunately, my performance was still far from ideal. Yeah, definitely not going well. I took part in my first social event, and chose the option that gave me a better reputation. I already knew I didn't want to be a cruel or infamous leader. Soon after, this man gave me a simple mission. Escort a caravan used as bait for bandits. My job was simple. Defeat them when they attacked. Sounded easy enough. When the attack came, I joined in. I had to be careful with the cavalry. The horse is gonna tear through the line. What do I go for? Shield walls for archers, I guess. So square?
Square formation!
But everything worked out. Okay, that went better than I expected. Mission completed, payment received. I kept on exploring, always chasing renown, and ran into more people who knew something about the artifact. Little by little, that storyline kept unfolding. In another tournament, I decided to change my approach. I got the crossbow again, but this time I didn't repeat the same mistake. I committed to melee combat, and it worked. Alright, yeah, now I get it. Yeah, let's go. Easy, easy, I can win this. Let's go, finally. And that was my first tournament win. In that moment, I wanted to believe it would be the first of many. Eventually, I figured out how to investigate the spy in the city. After wandering around completely lost for a while, I found a suspect. I accused him straight away and challenged him to a duel. I won the fight, But I got it wrong. He wasn't the spy. Mission failed and -1 in criminal rating. To this day, I'm not entirely sure how that affects me, so I just ignored it. Tournaments and hunting small groups of bandits seemed like the safest way to gain renown, so that was what I was focused on. And that's when it finally hit me. Wait, since when all this was red? Are we at war? What? I had been hired for a reason. The kingdom was at war. A bit late, I know, but I recruited a few more troops and headed to the front. I arrived late, not once, not twice, but 3 times, which says a lot about how bad I am at my job. But talking to the High King Caladog opened new doors. He told me more about the artifact and gave me a mission: collect taxes. Anything beyond his share would be mine. Fair enough. I tried to collect them without being too cruel, always choosing a middle ground. Another tournament, another victory. Oh, nice, another win. Okay, maybe I'm getting the hang of this. Yeah, I was starting to get more consistent. I handed over the taxes. It wasn't much, but there was a decent amount left for me. Success. I met this woman, who pointed me toward yet another person connected to the artifact, and I took part in another event. Once again, choosing options based on the reputation. Compassionate, not feared. At some point, I realized a serious mistake. I had sold my stealth equipment early in the campaign. I learned this hard way that stealth is not optional when attacking bandits' hideout. Oh, what? Why am I naked? Oh, I get it. Without proper gear, I decided to leave that for later. I was curious to understand warfare better, so I joined an army. Being part of an army is different. Slow movement, decisions aren't yours, but for a mercenary chasing renown, it's inefficient. Joined my first siege. Since I wasn't the commander, all I could do was wait and wait until eventually, finally, let's go. When the battle finally began, for the first time I was just a soldier, no troops under my command, but I could test it a mangonel. Oh, I wanna try this, yeah. Okay, how do you aim this thing? Okay, fair, I hit a wall, but I don't know. Let's just go for it. Okay, where did all these people came from? What? I fall there, but damn, it was awesome. Totally worth it. I went down in the battle, but it was awesome. And we won. As a reward, I received my first banner. Nice, looking good, looking good. After that, I left the army and went back to hunting renown on my own. In one of those fights, I went down again and watched my troops scatter. I thought it would be my first real defeat. Shit, yeah, this is bad. Like, no. Really bad. But somehow, even disorganized, we won. Wait, what? Did we win? How did we win? You gotta trust her, man, I guess. Until eventually, I discovered raids, almost by accident. They are the enemy. Can I take a hostile action and, like, attack them? My first attempt was interrupted by a declaration of peace. Guess that will have to wait. A few more battles later, I met a woman who told me how she had been used by her own family until she couldn't take it anymore. A sad story, really, but the important part. Oh, she's a medic. Yeah, I need that. I definitely need her. She was a medic, something I desperately needed. I paid her fee and she joined the party. And yes, I know, at that moment I was a complete dingus, and I only realized later that I had to officially assign her as the party's medic. But don't worry, it'll come. Not longer after, I ran into Hadagus again, from the very first beginning of the story. He wanted to help me rescue my brothers in exchange for his vengeance. The plan involved attacking a hideout, and this time I knew I needed stealth equipment, so I spent some time looking for gear, got something basic, and went in. As soon as I entered, I made a new and very pleasant discovery. Right, if this is stealth, I can crouch. How do I crouch? Wait, I can kick? Okay, now this is going to be quite useful. Okay, found the crouch. Let's go. I like the kick though.
You bastards! You bastards! Pouch of silver.
The plan worked, rescue completed. My brothers were free. After that, more tournaments and more battles followed. Meanwhile, I realized that the medic wasn't the medic, so I fixed that. Why am I not getting healed? Like, wait, I'm dumb. She's not even assigned as a medic. Yeah, now it's working. That was stupid. And I got my first prisoner. Sucks to be you, bro.
Footmen! Form a wall! Warriors! Take formation! Archers, listen up! Get moving!
I was actually trying to use some tactics and trying to be smart in some of those fights, which most of them actually proved very efficient. And I got a second prisoner. You mine now, bitch. I found myself in an isolated region of the enemy kingdom, and I tried the raids again. This time it worked.
Bowman! Onwards! Footmen, hear me! Wall, now! Warriors, take formation!
It didn't bring much money, but it brought resources, influence, and most importantly, renown. For the first time, it felt like a consistent path forward, no longer just an experiment. Raids now were part of the plan. And then came an unexpected moment. The medic asked to speak to me. She questioned my actions, especially the raids on villages. Wait, no. She's not leaving me, is she? If she leaves, I'm screwed. And for the first time, I was genuinely worried. I didn't know if those decisions could make her leave, and losing a medic now would be a disaster. For a moment, I considered stopping, but the truth was, the raids were working, and I needed that renown. And since I was operating in a safe region, far from immediate consequences, I took a gamble and decided to continue. It wasn't a comfortable decision, but it was a necessary one.
Hear me! Move out! Warrior! Stay close! Leave number one breathing!
It took some time and some battles.
Infantry! Square up! Warriors! Form a square! Horses! Cut them down! Infantry! Shields up! Warriors! On me! Soldiers! Face up! Footmen! Advance!
But eventually, after yet another battle where I was too injured to fight and I had to fully trust my troops, it finally happened. And with new armor and all the renown I had accumulated so far, I reached my goal. Clan Tier 2. Finally Tier 2. That took way long than I think it needed. But I didn't do this overnight. It took me 104 days in-game, filled with mistakes, defeats, wars, I was late to notice, and some very questionable decisions. All this to stop being just another mercenary. I'm still not a great lord, but now, officially, I've taken the first step into real nobility, and for my ascent. And in the next episode, the rise continues. But now, vassalage is on the horizon. Maybe I can even get some fees for me? I know this is something that can happen, and I will continue to rise. From Noob to the High King of Carodia. Let's see how long this will take. Comment tips and what I should be doing to advance in my campaign. Ideas on how to go on will be very appreciated. Subscribe to see me suffering and advancing in the campaign, and click the like. Thank you and bye bye.